Article 3, convinced that the principles of religion contribute most powerfully to keep nations in the state of passive obedience, which they owe to their princes. The high contracting parties, those are of course the people who taking part in this treaty, declare it to be their intention to sustain in their respective states those measures which the clergy may adopt.
What form of government is that?
So, who are the clergy?
The priest, the church.
Right, that's right.
So the state has to go by the dictates of the church.
That's right. And then jumping down, the contracting parties join in offering their thanks to the Pope for what he has already done for them and solicit his constant cooperation in their views of submitting the nations.
I think that's pretty clear who was behind this.
It is. It is.
That is unbelievable. And we have these meetings. I mean, it's public now.
Yeah.
And people can go read it. So we recommend you guys actually read the documents and go look for yourself and see that this is actually the case. That these plans have been implemented, talked about and implemented. And I mean, we can see this working down the line secretly and behind the scenes. It's not just overtly, hey, we're switching this over now, we're going to honor the Pope and it's going to be a monarchy again. And they're not saying it like that. They're doing it in a way that makes the people feel that this is still what they need and what they want to happen.
So we've come full circle back to this intentions of this treaty. But then they made a Monroe Doctrine that was intended to stop this from happening in the States.
It says, I'll read from the yellow, Canning called the attention of our government to it, and our statesmen then, including Thomas Jefferson, took an active part to bring about the declaration by President Monroe in his next annual message to the Congress of the United States. This is the so-called Monroe Doctrine. The threat under the Secret Treaty of Verona to suppress popular government in the American republics is the basis of the Monroe Doctrine. This secret treaty sets forth clearly the conflict between monarchical government and popular government and the government of the few as against the government of the many. So basically what happened, the founders found out about this secret treaty that was going on at Verona. They found out about all this, and they had to come up with a plan to stop it. So they spoke with one another, and as it mentions Thomas Jefferson here, eventually got with President Monroe. And the plan was to keep the monarchs of Europe over there, and we stay over here. And like it says here, that was the basis of the Monroe Doctrine. The Monroe Doctrine basically said to the people of Europe, stay over there, we'll stay over here, and if you come over here, that's an act of war. And that's what he's bringing out in here. So the reason why we have the Monroe Doctrine is because of indirectly of the Jesuits.
Right.
Now, I just want to point out, because some people may be wondering how the monarchs of Europe and the Jesuits would have accomplished that. And the answer is we don't know exactly how everything would have been done because it didn't happen. It was stopped.
Right.
The Monroe Doctrine was passed and things were stayed for a little while. But we do get a glimpse of this. If we go back to Samuel Morse, he says, to return to the subject, it is in the Roman Catholic ranks that we are principally to look for the materials that are employed by the Jesuits, and in what condition do we find this sect at present in our country? We find it spreading itself into every nook and corner of the land. Churches, chapels, colleges, nunneries, and convents are springing up as if by magic everywhere. An activity hitherto unknown among the Roman Catholics pervades all their ranks, and yet whence the means for all these efforts? And I'll go down to the bottom. Is it not notorious that the greater part are foreigners from the various Catholic countries in Europe? Immigration has of late years been specially promoted among this class of foreigners, and they have been in the proportion of 3 to 1 of all other immigrants arriving on our shores. They are from Ireland, Germany, Poland, and Belgium. From about the period of the formation of the Leopold Society, the Catholic immigration increased in an amazing degree. They are mostly, if not all, Roman Catholics. Be it remarked, for Belgium is a Catholic country, and Austrian vessels are bringing them here. So one of the ways that they were going to accomplish their goals, as far as the Council of Verona was concerned, was they were going to send thousands and thousands of Catholic immigrants to the shores of America, and they were basically going to take it over from within.
Right.
Do we see something similar today?
Yeah, I think we do.
We absolutely do. Now, the funny difference is that most of those people are already in the country. So if we shut down immigration now, and it's presented as a different reason why we need to shut down immigration,
Right.
but these people have already come in and have infiltrated all areas of society. This, what was being written, is many years ago.
That's
and
right.
we are far down the line now. But this is the history, and it's really important that we're aware of what they were seeing, because we're totally oblivious to this today.
Samuel Morse continued in his book, and he said, the author undertakes to show that a conspiracy against the liberties of this republic is now in full action under the direction of the wily Prince Metternich. So just another example of all these people who believed and saw what was happening.
Interestingly enough, this quote comes from the life of James Monroe, which says, from the contemporary newspaper accounts, we glean these facts. For several days, this is speaking of James Monroe's death, had been momentarily expected. He expired without a struggle. At 3:30 in the afternoon of Monday, July 4th, as John Adams and Thomas Jefferson had died on the 4th 5 years before, Monroe's death added to the wonder, as though a power aloft had taken cognizance of the particular patriotism of these mortal men and had translated them.
Oh, that's interesting.
So the three people that spoke out and
Against
the Jesuits and stopped their plans, in a sense, all died on...
Yeah, they all died on July 4th.
They all died on July 4th.
That's
Two of them on the
interesting.
same day in the same year. Now that's interesting.
Very interesting.
Remember the Jesuit oath and how they said they would use whatever means, the poison cup, the strangling cord. It's very interesting how these people died.
And they never forget.